I'm gonna help you conquer one of the biggest monsters that holds us back from accomplishing our dreams. Get ready to overcome barriers, take action, and feel the joy of seeing progress. I'm so glad you made it here, because the world needs your big idea. Better Echoes is all about improving ourselves so we can uplift all. You're awesome, let's dive in. So one of the most difficult obstacles that we face when we have a big dream is an energy problem. Now it might show up as 4 different things, so I'll explain each one and then I'll tell you how to beat each one. Hell yeah. The first energy problem is overworking. Our day jobs can drain a lot of our time and energy from our lives, and by the time we get home, we're sapped of all our energy and we have none left at all. Our day could be filled with tolerating nonsense, or dealing with difficult people, or doing things that we're really not that passionate about. Then when we get home, we just want to flop onto the couch because obviously we're drained, and we're justified to feel that way. Now this concept also applies to stay-at-home parents who just never get a break from the kids. However many hours you work in a week, either at a job or at home, you are a candidate for being overworked. Overworking is not about the total number of hours worked, but it's about how much the work taxes your mind. And unfortunately, as you well know at this point, being overworked severely limits our ability to get our dreams off the ground. The second energy problem is overstimulation. We have 24/7 access to all the content that we could ever possibly ask for, and it's never ending. All the world's knowledge, entertainment, and news, and no one to set a consumption limit for us. And we certainly don't limit ourselves very well. I know I don't. We use our phones all day long at the slightest exposure to boredom or anxiety or even normalcy. Our whole day is spent in a dopamine dunk tank. Remember those from the carnival? You hit the little thing and then you just drop in, but you don't really know when you're going to drop in. You're scrolling through content all day long, and sometimes something hits and makes you feel good or happy or excited, or something fun happens, and then you fall into the dopamine dunk tank. But then after that, okay, you set back up and you wait for the next baseball to hit the thing and you fall back in. Humans are wacky. Humans are super wacky. Us humans. Me included. I'm a human. After a long day at work, we are understandably exhausted, and our phones are always there to offer us something, whether it's interesting or not. But the worst part is that the phone is actually a Trojan horse. To us, they feel like rest, like a well-deserved break. Hey man, leave me alone. I'm just relaxing on the couch doing a little bit of scrolling. But in actuality, they're sneaking a horse full of time vampires into your brain. Your dream is competing with everything on TikTok. Now don't get me wrong, sometimes your phone may actually be a well-deserved break. That's totally allowed. But overdoing it is where the time wasting problem comes in. You know where to set that limit. Content can feel like an escape sometimes, and you're more than welcome to use it as such. But when you overdo it, all you're really escaping is the beautiful future that you could be creating with all that wasted time. Overstimulation makes it very difficult to bring our dreams into reality. Now the third energy problem is depression. If you suffer from depression, unfortunately you know what this is like. I imagine like a giant mosquito demon that's smack-talking us while draining what little life force our tired bodies even have left. Even normal everyday tasks may feel like dragging a car with no wheels up a mountain in the middle of a cloudy night. That sounds horrible. If this sounds like your situation, I'm truly sorry. But please know that there is hope. It may be tough to find, but it does exist, and you do deserve it, and you will get through this. It's no surprise that depression makes it damn near impossible to bring our dreams to life. The fourth energy problem is laziness, which can take many forms. Here are just a few. Number 1, we don't know what we need to know to get started, and that's intimidating, so we do nothing. Number 2, we do know what we need to know to get started, but it feels like too much work, so we do nothing. Number 3, we feel like we deserve excess relaxation time after work, so we do nothing. And number 4, we have some free time and want it to be low pressure, so we end up doing, you guessed it, nothing. Listen, I definitely understand why we do these things. I've done all of them myself in the past, and I will do them in the future. I'm trying to limit those things now, but they will happen. We're only human. None of those things, though, are good enough reasons to keep us from making progress on what's important to us. Laziness makes it super difficult to energize our dreams. All right, let's get to the good stuff. So how do we actually resolve each one of these energy issues? Well, I'll give a brief recommendation for each thing, but I would suggest further research on everything I mentioned here. All right, let's go. What to do about overworking? Try to set reasonable boundaries for yourself. Find a way to work just a little bit less at work, even if you're required to be there for the same total number of hours. You can also try to limit the amount of stress you deal with at work, because that has a major effect on energy levels too. Your brain needs a break from that crap. You can even consider changing jobs if you really need to, or be honest with your boss about burning out. Maybe you can work something out where you take a little bit of time off. Or you can find a way to be less affected by work nonsense via something like a mindset shift, maybe through meditation or prayer. And if you're a stay-at-home parent and need a break from that, have a talk with your partner about it and see if they can help. Maybe they can take a little time off, or maybe they can just trade places with you for a day or two on the weekend. Maybe you can even try talking to your parents about it. You deserve a break, and you should be able to lean on your people every once in a while for that. And if you're a single parent, first of all, you are a total badass. But try similar things. Talk to your parents or a close trusted friend so you can squeeze a spa day in every once in a while. You deserve it. What to do about overstimulation. Realize that you're being enticed by shiny object syndrome, or FOMO, and they're stealing precious project development time from you. That content may be amazing, but it's literally robbing your future self. Set a limit for app usage in your phone. Most phones offer something like that now. Or set some personal boundaries, like giving yourself a hard deadline of only 1 hour of aimless scrolling each night. And I say each night because I definitely don't recommend starting your day with aimless scrolling. That's a terrible plan. Or you can set a hard limit of seeing 10 posts on Instagram and then closing the app. Truly, any time that you waste after an appropriate amount for rest and relaxation, because remember that is allowed, is time that could be invested in your project. Sure, take a moment to chill and doom scroll a little bit, but don't let it consume your whole night. That can happen super fast, as we all know. Use post-resting time to invest in what matters, because it'll pay dividends in the long run. And sometimes, I mean like actual dividends, like money. Wasted time can turn into money if you use it wisely. And money can turn into freedom. What to do about depression? Number 1, show some love to your inner child. Now imagine sitting down with a younger version of yourself and telling them that eventually it's all going to be okay and that you have some work to do so you both can watch your life get better while you do that work. Then picture your inner child smiling at you and saying that they're proud of you and that they're going to be rooting for you along the way. There are plenty of times where your parents had talked to you and told you that something that you didn't think was going to be okay actually would eventually be okay. You're in that position with yourself right now. You want to sit yourself down and tell yourself that it really will be fine in the future. You might not know how right now, but once you compassionately convince your younger self to believe it, you may actually start to believe it yourself, and you'll start to feel some kind of positivity or some energy behind making that actually happen. Since you spent time trying to uplift the younger version of yourself, that younger version of yourself will be able to uplift you as you go through what you need to go through to make your dream a reality and get through your depression. What to do about depression number 2. Imagine your soul energy sitting you down and telling you that it's all going to be okay, and explaining that you do actually get through this depressive feeling at some point, and your dream actually does get accomplished. It's just further down the timeline. Now, you just have to figure out how to make all those things happen. That sounds tough, I know that, but in the future, know that it is already resolved. If this sounds silly, please just try it. What to do about depression number 3. Shift your mindset through meditation, prayer, gratitude practice, positive affirmations, or Stoic philosophy. Kind of like the saying, the obstacle is the way. There are so many more amazing gems in Stoic philosophy that may be really helpful to you during this time. You'll have to do more research there, but I guarantee it'll be worth it. What to do about depression number 4. Change your physical state. Jump up and down, smile and high-five yourself in the mirror, go for a walk, work out, get out of the house, have a new adventure, watch some comedy, or my personal favorite, with the angriest face that you can possibly muster, whisper the word bubbles. Bubbles. I forget where I heard that, but it's awesome. And what to do about depression number 5. Consider going to therapy. It could help a ton. And there's nothing wrong or embarrassing about just giving it a try. I know there's some silly social stigma here, especially for us men, but you have to just lay that down and consider this as an option. You can learn so much about why you are the way that you are, and possibly even learn about a better way to move forward. A professional therapist may really be able to offer you a lot. And if you don't want to talk to a therapist because you just kind of can't get there yet, that's okay. Look at that feeling, work on that feeling a little bit, and eventually try to get there, but if you can't, just talk to someone. Although I do recommend talking to an actual therapist. They're trained to be able to help you through stuff like this. Imagine a friend that went to school to be able to help you personally. That's what a therapist can do for you. What to do about laziness? Similar to overstimulation, realize that laziness is just straight up costing you money. If you got your dream off the ground, you could probably monetize it, and that money can turn into freedom. If you started your dream 5 years ago, you'd probably be making money off of it right now, or at least you'd be happy about how far you've come in that time. Start today and you can get closer to that monetization goal, but more importantly, closer to fulfillment or the joy of progress. And listen to me talk. It took me 5 or 6 years to get this channel off the ground, but I'm doing it and it feels amazing, and I want you to feel that feeling too. Also, and please hear me here, you already know what you need to know to start. Stop doing research and just start. You can't stay in the incubation stage forever. The baby can't stay inside the womb for the rest of eternity. Don't do what I did and take 6 years to get a channel off the ground. Move now. The last thing you can try is setting an alarm on your phone for the same time every day, and whenever it goes off, do one small thing that moves your project forward. Even just 5 minutes a day adds up to over 30 hours a year. You are worth that investment. Click the link above me or in the description below to watch the video that I did on the phone alarm idea that I think will really be helpful in getting your dream off the ground. Now, I'm not perfect and I don't have all the answers. I do really recommend doing research or getting some professional help if you're going through some harder stuff, but I have made progress on my dream, and that's why I'm making this video, because that progress feels feels really, really good. So I wanted to be able to give you some of those tools to fix your energy problem if that's what you're struggling with, and see how great the feeling of progress actually is. I'm totally addicted to it now. It's up and down sometimes, but overall, I know that that feeling is there, and I want it all the time because I feel like it's amazing, and I want you to be able to feel that too. You absolutely can get there. Now I want to hear from you. What's your main energy obstacle, and what are you going to do to overcome it? Chime in below. Maybe your comment will help inspire somebody else. So I really don't think that any of the 4 things that we talked about are inherent character flaws in us. I think they're just byproducts of the way that the world is structured right now. We have so much stacked against us, and it's no wonder why we have so much trouble making our dreams happen. At the end of the day, just figure out which energy problem you suffer from. It may be all of them, it could even be a different one, but your job now is to go to work fixing it. And please realize that the most potent thing that can help restore your energy is the feeling of progress itself. It's honoring your creativity and taking action steps. Make progress on your goals and you'll start to feel that energy bubble up. It's an amazing feeling and you're going to get there. You can be your own rechargeable battery just by taking those steps and feeling that progress. Conquer these monsters and build your dream into reality. You absolutely can do this. I believe in you. Remember, do something that makes the world a better place this week. People need you. You are the better Echo. Subscribe, like, get a sticker at the link below, or watch one of these, and I'll see you next time.